Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And tomorrow night is New Year's Eve, and as we're nearly at the end of this calendar year, I do find myself looking ahead to next year and wondering what it will bring. I have definite ideas of what I hope it will bring, and I am hoping the universe will cooperate with my hopes. And I'm curious for what you would like to see in the new year in terms of this vlog, my daily tarot blog, and other things that I do. If there are particular things you'd like to see me examine or talk about, perhaps classes you'd like to see, please feel free to give me ideas because I would like to hear what you have to say. Now tonight we're going to take a question from Takiado, who asks about the word shadow, which I used in last night's vlog. What is the shadow? When we use the term shadow, what we're referring to can be a number of different things. In one sense, it's the disowned parts of ourselves. The parts of ourselves that we don't like to deal with, that we may have repressed, or held down, or held back, or denied. At another level, it's limiting belief systems. It's negative ideas about ourselves, negative ideas about the world as well. Or in other words, the shadow really is everything that holds us back. In magic, it's really important to look at your shadow and to heal and transform it, to reintegrate it into the whole being, and to release those limitations. Let me give you a couple of examples. The classic example is the person who wants either, well, perhaps they want to have the perfect romance, but in their heart they believe they're unlovable. That would be their shadow holding them back. Or they want to have a really good paying job, but in their heart they believe they could never possibly get such a thing. Again, their shadow holding them back. Another example is the person who wants everything in the world to be light and love and happy and sweet. And therefore, every time they get angry, they shove it down and deny that they're angry, deny that they have that kind of emotion within them. That too is shadow. And where all that anger goes is into the shadow. And then it will usually come back to you in other things. Now this is not to say that you should go through life being angry, but rather, when you feel an emotion, you should feel it. Doesn't mean you go out and express it necessarily, but you don't repress it. When you repress it, it becomes part of your shadow. So these are some of the things that we talk about as being the shadow. And again, in magic, it's vitally important to deal with that part of yourself. The part of yourself you deny, often the part of yourself you don't see, because we don't see our limiting belief systems. The shadow also includes pain and trauma that we've suffered in life that leaves us bearing baggage. The baggage is part of the shadow. And the things that we do in magic require us to heal and transform that shadow self. There are a lot of different ways of doing this. We talk about them in the various degree materials. I have found soul retrieval probably the single most powerful technique for working with the shadow, but certainly not the only one, nor the simplest one for the beginner. And again, we talk about different techniques one can use in our degree materials, which I highly recommend. But it doesn't really matter what technique you use, as long as you use a technique that works for you and helps you to release those blockages and limitations. So, that's our vlog for tonight. I hope that you find it interesting and helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be.